the following video is a recording from our Artist Feedback AMA featuring landscape photography and hosted by Sarah Lindsay and Arwin Levinson, held in MetaJungle Discord on May 20th. We review several NFT collections, and the hosts provide honest feedback concerning collection curation, descriptions, and other helpful advice to improve the success of their NFT collection. This information we believe is helpful for artists and NFT collectors, so we hope you enjoy.
So I'll start with the first one.
Okay.
And that's Peace and Wilderness by Ankit Azad. And if I miss anything as I'm going through it, just let me know, Sarah, because you have done more of these than I have. Okay.
Okay, got
Okay.
it. You got this. You got it.
All right. So I'll start with the description, and I'll read that. This is on OpenSea, and it's a collection of 6 items. Peace and Wilderness is a collection of my travel photos. All of these pictures belong to scenic places which I had discovered through my vision after exploring places surrounded by lush green forests, rivers, and mountains. Peace and wilderness are 2 inalienable parts of what we are made of. Some days we are at peace, while on others we taste wilderness. I was lucky to experience both and lived all those days with my habit of finding peace and seeing new, untouched places. I have always been an avid wanderer. Visiting undiscovered places and finding eye catching frames gave me an adrenaline rush. No matter how I felt, this always lifted me and kept me going. Presenting an excerpt of all those days of mine when I gave my best and enjoyed the most, where I learned that today is more important than tomorrow. Artist Ankit Azad, travel and creative photographer from the outskirts of Bihar, India. Camera is phone, and all are one of ones, and the collection size is bounded to 6. Um,
Ooh, phone. This is phone photography. Okay, okay.
so like we had mentioned quite a few times in the last landscape AMA, I would recommend having someone go through and check the grammar. It's actually pretty good, but I did notice like the punctuation threw me off in a couple of parts, and also just a little bit the choice of wording. I mean, I kind of actually liked the way he used wilderness as a feeling, which is a little bit different, but also
Mm-hmm.
nice.
Yeah.
Um, and he did include that they're one-on-ones, although putting addition there kind of confuses me a little. It might be better just to put that they're one-on-ones. I think that's a little more clear. And I guess it doesn't have the licensing information, which is something we do recommend.
But
Uh,
they might be in the photos. Are they in the photos? The
mm,
individual?
maybe we can look at that when we go to them. Do you have anything else about the description?
This basically the same that you said, and just with the grammar and like you can download like Grammarly is really really great. I think you have to pay a little bit extra to get access like their full Grammarly, but it's really helpful for grammar and just everything. It checks everything over in case there's not a person around to help proofread.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this was good enough that I could understand it. Like
Oh
some
yeah,
of the
totally.
grammar makes it hard to understand,
Yeah.
but that wasn't the case in this one. So it's mostly just the punctuation and a few things like that.
I like that they share that it's a phone, like the phone camera.
Yeah, I
You like
do
know,
too.
yeah, then you know right away before you look at the images.
Right. Okay, so then if we go to the images, there's only 6 of them. And I guess in a way it could be classified to me more as travel photography. But it's also, got aspects of landscape in it
Yeah.
as well. Overall, I really like the collection.
Same. I
Um,
think it looks really good. It looks really good together. I like
yeah.
it too. I think this one's well done.
So I'll go into one of them and we'll look at the description.
This is a cool shot.
Freedom of imagination. I like the name too. Imagination of freedom is unbound, knowing that imagination in itself is freedom, freedom from the shackles of reality to delve deeper into myriad different worlds. As someone said, you can't depend on your eyes when your imagination is out of focus. I have always tried to picture the world with this sense of vision and imagination. I have always tried to look at frames as if to depict a story, and I think it one of the most important facets of photography, story description. So he's got a nice description and he's got his name and that it's a one-on-one. I like that he puts the location, not very specific, but the country, and still the camera. Oh yeah, and the license is in here.
Nice.
So to me, it looks like he has everything. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it looks good. And he's got properties as well. Properties is very, very helpful. Like with a bird, where it says birds, imagination, waves, serenity. So that's awesome.
Do you hear the notifications on my computer?
No.
Okay, good. Because it's in Discord and I don't know how to make it stop. I need to make it stop. It's kind of annoying. Okay. Sorry to get off track.
No, it's all good.
So, and then this is the description of the collection, which we discussed. So let's go back to
Cool shot. I do see the price, like, so the pricing is different. Oh, one of them's not, whoa, 4 of them are not even listed. So there's only one that's actually listed for sale.
Oh yeah. So
You see that?
Yeah. So I think that he should list the rest of them.
Yes, maybe he was waiting for this session for carrying on. But I do see that one sold at 0.05 and then, but asking price for the other one is 0.15. So I guess I'd be curious to see where the rest of the pricing is going to go.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think personally, I think they could all be the same price.
Yes.
I really love this one.
Yeah, I know that.
Better together.
I like how so all the photos have a person in it, which I like that. And they're all vertical. So they all have like a theme to them with the people. This is a really well done collection, actually. I really like it. Because the images are different, but it fits together in the collection, if that makes sense.
Right, I agree. And
Yeah.
like I was gonna say, the colors I think really help to bring it together. So
Yeah.
even though this one doesn't have blue, it ties in with the green, and this one doesn't have green, but it ties in with the blue. And so I think it's really well done with the colors. Those are very nice. I don't know, do you have constructive criticism?
Tough with phones. I mean, you're limited with phones, but I realize like many people around the world don't have access to cameras, and phones are their cameras. So just making sure if you're using a phone that you're able to get the best quality image possible. I guess that's like my feedback. I can't really, I can't see the quality of these photos since I'm just watching the screen. But if I was just using a phone, that's something I would be very mindful of. Just like just the image quality and like not forgetting that you can still edit these images. It's clear that these ones were edited because we can tell by the colors. But yeah, spend time editing them as well if you're using the phone, and just treat it the same way as if you were using I want to say a normal camera, but a higher end camera, I guess you could say.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if I had to choose one that I didn't think went quite as well, I would probably choose Peacefully Wild. I just feel like it's a little different, maybe because the others have so much sky.
Maybe. Or maybe because there's not really any action in that one. Like all the other ones are kind of action shots, and this one is just chilling. Chilling in the tree. I like that one. I really like the pose. I love how different the pose is.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
it's very well composed.
yeah. I think with phones, it's really tricky to control the dynamic range with phones. That's the one thing I know, like I can tell when it's an iPhone or a Samsung, the sky's usually really blowing out. So, but you can still, you know, adjust your exposure with phones and you can have a little bit of control over the settings. And I just think it's important to be mindful of that if you're using a phone.
Right. I did notice that a little bit in these two with the
Yeah, the
clouds.
blown out skies, yes.
Yeah. But I mean, I think it's actually kind of contributes to the
Yeah.
photo.
Could
In
also
the
be, yeah, and it could be edited that way. I love the one with the trees, the foggy trees and the person in the middle, and the one with the boats is really, really well done. The boat, not boats, the boat. I think this is a good collection. Everything's there. Everything fits. Just get your pricing out and definitely start pushing it.
Right. And I think to advertise it, if they made a collage with all six of them, they all go so well together, that would look really nice.
Yeah.
Um, maybe they would leave out the one that's already sold, or they could put it in and put sold. Um, but okay. So then I think we're done with this one and we'll move on to the next.
Yeah, I like this one. I like the size.
Yeah.
When I see collections, I really like the way that 6 looks. It's a good number.
Oh, it does fit well. Like,
Yeah, yes. Especially on OpenSea.
yeah. Okay. So next we have Beyond the Vision by um Moodit, Mayor. And I'll let you go ahead and take it.
Okay. I present a series of nature photos from different pieces of I cannot say this word, I'm so sorry. Himachal Pradesh in black and white because in my opinion, the black and white photography make nature reveal its dramatic potential. Black and white landscapes have an additional surrealistic impact, a capturing effect on me. This collection consists of 10 photographs of one edition. Note, once this Beyond the Vision collection gets half sold, then I will randomly pick one collector for one free NFT from this collection. Okay, so I feel with the description. I like how it's broken up into chunks, but it could definitely have more. And then again, it's another one just checking grammar and spelling and the usual stuff. Because there's definitely some things in there that I had a tough time reading. And yeah, just having a little bit more to it. And then I see actually that they've already actually sold some, which is awesome. That's really, really good. So there's 10 items, and it already says there's 4 owners, plus the person who made the collection. So can you go down so we can see the images? And do you have anything to add to the description?
No, I agree that they could say a little bit more about what the collection is about. It's pretty short and it doesn't really draw me in as much
Yes.
as some of the other descriptions that I've read.
Yes, I have to see. Yeah, I've been itching to see the images too. They're cool. I like the black and white. Okay, so are they all the same price as we look down? No. But they're not that much different.
Is the
Yeah.
person here because I would be interested to know why they priced some 0.11 and some 0.1.
Yeah, what's the difference there in the pricing? I mean, I guess it's not that different that it doesn't make you like, whoa, why is this one so much more? But why not just leave them all the same? It's so close. Can you click on one of the images so that I just want to see the description?
The artist is in here, by the way.
Nice. Hi, artist. We probably are very terrible at saying your name. Sorry. I just want to see if they have licensing and description and all of that fun stuff. Yes, they do. Oh, the license is becoming more and more common, which is awesome. So there's not much of a description for this one. I definitely like having descriptions with each image, but I understand not everybody does. They have the license there, they have properties, which is all good. And they've already sold some, so that's awesome. Do you have anything to add to the description of the individual images, Arwen?
No, I mean, I would like to see more description. Because all the description is it just says where it was shot.
Yeah, just a little bit more. I like the images, and I like the black and white. What are the titles? Does each one have a different title?
Yeah, I forgot to comment on the titles in the last one. I really liked the titles as well.
Oh, this one has different titles too. I think it's really cool when there's different titles. I like seeing that. I like seeing numbers, but a lot of people do the numbers. I'm not a fan. I love that one with the layers in the middle. If you go down, it's underneath the bird one. Yeah, that one. I love layers. I love images like this. I want to photograph something like this soon. It's beautiful. Layers upon layers. So I really like the work, and I think it all fits together. I think it looks really good. There's two bird images though that are very similar. Do you see them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably take out one of the bird ones, but
down Odyssey and Sawdad.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say that.
They're almost identical. I like the one with the boat. That's cool. I like how each image is a little bit different with contrast. Do you notice that?
Yeah.
And some I like that though. I think it looks really good. Some the highlights are like really dominant, and then other ones the shadows are. I like that.
I'm thinking this one maybe doesn't go as well.
Oh, that is a cool image.
Really? I can't even
cool.
see what this is.
I like it. For some reason, I feel like it's underwater. I know it's not, but it looks like it's under. It looks, it's got the cloud, but it looks underwater. I understand. I mean, I can't see it fully on my screen because the screen sharing, but I actually really like that one. It's different. I like the way that these are edited, except for the ones with the birds. Can you open up one of the ones with the birds, and I will explain my thoughts on it.
Yeah, 1 second. Just trying to move this over. I feel like this one's a little contrasty in the cloud.
So, yeah, and I'm not sure. I don't know if it looks like that on your screen, but it looks like the entire top has been stretched. Like the cloud is, it's all distorted. It's just messy to me. The upper bit of it. I keep getting lost in that big white cloud. So our eye is always drawn to the brightest part of the image, and when you're creating or when you're editing, you want to keep that in mind because you can actually control where the viewer's eye goes with light and with the brightest part of the image. And then if you have anything that's like, this isn't the case for all images, of course, but if you have white that is close to the edge of the frame or at the edge of the frame, it will lead the eye out of the photo because it'll go right to the bright spot and then it'll just keep going out.
Right, I agree on this one. So this cloud is, I just keep staring at it.
Yeah. So you don't see the rest of the photo. It's just this big cloud.
So I probably, if I would remove any, it would be that one. And then I mean, Sarah really likes Soulful Sky, but I just feel like it doesn't go as well because you can't really see anything except this cloud at the top. And so I don't even really get the feeling that it's in the mountains, since I can't really see it. I mean, even the ones with the trees, you get the feeling they're in the mountains because mountains usually have trees like that. They might go a little less than the ones with the mountain peaks if you wanted like something really tight.
Right, so this collection is about mountains. Okay, yeah. To me, the tree ones, is it a bit?
Well, I mean, it says I guess not, but since it's in Himachal Pradesh, that made me think mountains,
Oh, okay, I see.
because that's
Then
in the Himalayas.
I can see why these images have sold. So that's good. I actually really like this collection. Just a couple of images that I don't feel are as strong as the other ones. And when you have like a few images or image or two, and often it's like we don't know. I don't know if you're the same, Arwen, but you know when like you're really attached to an image and you think it's really good, but it doesn't really translate that well across to other people, but then you'll have an image that you're not sure of and you don't, you're like, oh, I don't think this one is really good, but everybody really loves it.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that happens all all of the time with images. Such a pain in the butt. So it's hard to know, like, as photographers, what image is really, really strong and which one is really weak. But I always suggest making sure to remove the weakest images out of a collection because it can really pull down the collection. So always getting, I mean, like us, what we're doing right now, we're reviewing the collection, getting an extra pair of eyes before you even list it is always a helpful thing, I think, when curating work.
Right. And especially ones that have technical, things wrong with them technically, I would say. So, like the overexposed cloud in this one,
Yeah.
that might be worth, removing and keeping the other ones in the collection.
Yeah. But it's cool. This is a cool work. I'm
I
a fan.
really love
I like
this
it.
with the way the clouds are.
Yeah, it looks like the
I think it's
Northern Lights,
really
but
cool.
black and white. It's cool. And I think it's priced well. I think it's good. Great pricing.
Me too. I'm just wondering about the 0.11. I mean, it's such a little bit of a difference that it seems like just making them all 0.1 might be more appealing to people because they wouldn't
Maybe.
be wondering, why is this 1.1?
Maybe it was a typo. Did I ever tell you this one time when I went to go list a image for it was like 0.80 ETH and I listed it for 80 ETH? I forgot the decimal and it was on Foundation, so you can like see the mistake. Oh my god, it was so embarrassing. Anyways, yeah.
Had someone who bought it right away.
No, but it was Matt. Matt was actually looking at my work and he pointed it out. He's like, Sarah, is this real? And I was like, oh my god, I didn't need to do that. Whoopsie. Those dang decimals.
If you don't have any other comments, we could move on to the next one.
No, yeah, I'm good. I like this collection.
I do too, and I
Good.
really think black and white is really suitable for it.
Yes.
Like, it really emphasizes the stormy skies and the light. Like in this Mystique Himalaya, this is gorgeous with the light on the snow.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So now we have The Last March, and that is by, 1 second, Jokin Mark, and he actually messaged me and said that he couldn't make it. And so I mentioned that it would be recorded. And so he could listen to the recording and, just send us any questions or comments that he had.
Nice.
Um,
30 items in this one. Holy smokies. Okay, I'm
so
ready.
this is a big one, 30. Okay, I'll go ahead and read it. The Last March. In the depths of the forest of Basque Country, land of myths and magical creatures, live ancient ancestral creatures. They talk to each other and they can move. They are Ents. They are the protectors of the magical forests of Basque Country. But due to climate change and deforestation, they have begun the last march to inhabit the Ethereum blockchain forever. Roadmap. First drop. The first, oops, spelling error. The first 5 collectors will receive a 5 out of 1 edition work. Once the collection is sold out, I'll give away to a random collector 1 out of 1 edition work. Okay, so I really like the description.
Same.
It really conveys what he is trying to do with the collection. And the only thing is to check the spelling. The grammar's very good, and I didn't really see any spelling errors up here, but down here, there's a couple of spelling errors like I apostrophe LL and then first is spelled wrong. And he doesn't have, oh, the licensing information would be down there. Is there anything you wanted to say about the description?
I just obviously the spelling as well. I love this. I love the story. I like how it's like a fairy tale. I like this fairy tale sort of fantasy. The Ethereum blockchain forever. Well, this is good. It kind of reminds me of Lord of the Rings. I agree about the spelling, and I just want to say, like, that could be something that will really could turn someone away. I don't know if you're like that, Arwen, but even when I'm reading websites, I'm gonna go book something like nothing to do with NFTs, but I want to enlist in a service or buy a product. If there's spelling mistakes on the website, I don't, because I'm concerned that it's like not professional. Does that make sense? And
Yeah,
it really would push me away. So I think the spelling and all of that grammar is so important to check before doing any before listing anything for sale. I cannot like hammer that in enough, and especially for us English speakers, you know, this is our language. We there can't really be any more excuses with it.
Yeah, especially spelling, because spelling
Yeah,
spell check is so easy. Grammar's a little more difficult, but
yeah.
spelling is just so easy to get right. Spell check would have, corrected this, and also, I think, put the apostrophe in owl.
It
Uh,
just makes me think that it's rushed,
right.
right? And
Um,
then, yeah. Anyways, but I love the story. I'm totally here for the story. I think that's awesome. So there's the 30 items, and they are listed at 0.3. So I'd love to take a look at all the images.
So the one other thing I wanted to mention about the description is the way he put roadmap and then first drop right underneath it is a little confusing to me. Like I would expect to have like second drop or maybe a space between roadmap and first drop, or it could say this is the first drop. I It took me a little while. I think what he's saying is this is the first drop and there might
Yeah,
be more to come. So if there is, I think that should be written in here as well.
yeah,
And if this is the only drop, then I don't think he needs to put first drop. Um,
yeah. I agree. I understand what it means, but I'm just not sure why it even has to be in the description. But I get it. And then
okay.
the licensing will likely, if they did, it will be in the images.
Okay, so let's first look at the description of one of those.
No,
Wait, I'm doing
thanks.
this one, right? I forgot for
Yeah.
a minute. Okay.
There's no lessons. I'm not sure, like, I don't need to read the descriptions of, unless you want to read the descriptions of the images. I don't know if we ever really do.
Okay.
But if you, it just helps. It definitely helps save on the time if we don't read all the descriptions.
I mean, I
Thanks.
like this description, but I think it's the same as the one in the um collection. So
Oh,
I
okay,
don't
okay.
think he has individual descriptions. We can
Yeah.
in the next one, which I like to have. I mean, I know these are all kind of similar, so maybe that's why he decided to do that. But still, I would like to see, you know, I don't know, a description about it, like why he chose to take these. Maybe for each one, a little bit about why he chose to take these particular photos. Um,
Yeah, and the like licensing and all of that artist name, the all of that information is missing. So definitely listen back to one of the other collections where they do have that information and add it in there, because it's very important moving forward, especially with image licensing.
Yeah, and the other thing is the names just being numbers. I mean, I kind of can see why he did that because it's kind of, abstract in a way. They're all of trees. But I really do you remember that collection we reviewed the last time that was all of trees, but he still managed to name each one individually? And I loved that because
Yes.
the names really went well with, the patterns and designs from each of the trees. So I don't know, it might be hard to do, but it might be worthwhile.
So what I know like about this collection is the size. Obviously there's 30 pieces, and I can see when the collections are really, really big why a lot of people like to just use numbers, because it would be just challenging to come up with 30 names. I don't. I honestly think this collection is a little bit maybe too big. For the price range, it just seems a little bit big, and I feel like it might take a while to push it and like get it sold out because of how big the collection is and the price.
Yeah, I agree. I think he could probably take some of them out, and if it does well, then do a second drop. Like he
Yeah.
had first drop, he could say, I'm doing 10 in the first drop, and then maybe 10 in the second drop, and 10 in the third. And also that way, maybe he could group them together a little bit more by color or, subject. Like I love this one,
I
number
know.
2. It
Yeah, so good.
stands out from the other ones.
That is a really good shot that obviously you and I were like, oh my gosh, it jumps out right away. I would honestly pull it from this collection and preserve it as a standalone 101, because it's like, let's just say if this photographer's specialty was trees, that is a great shot. Like it doesn't need to be in this collection. And if you're going to do a collection, obviously pricing is everybody's choice, but I want to just maybe give a little helpful tip about pricing. If you're going to have 30 pieces, then price it to sell so that it moves, because you clearly have the supply to put out that many images, rather than if it was like a 6-piece collection. That price point would make sense to me, but not when it's 30 pieces.
And the other one I feel like really stands out and doesn't go quite as well, and it's just because of the colors really, is this one. I mean, it's an amazing image. I love the way the tree branch is leading into it. But I just feel it's not as cohesive, as part of the collection. It kind of stood out to me as well.
Yeah.
Uh, if he was looking to remove some to make the collection size smaller. I love these ones with the green moss in the front. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
I have nothing to like say about critiquing the images or anything. I think the images are great. It's just there's so many, too many for me in this collection.
Right. And so I think maybe, like my suggestion would be to divide it up maybe by the colors. So, all the really green ones, like these two could be grouped together. This one seems kind of different in coloration. It's more like foggy and gray. So maybe if you did decide to make it smaller, you could kind of group them like that. That would be one suggestion that I have. Like this one goes with that foggy gray one.
Yeah, I love that though. Yeah, definitely could group a lot of these together. And then you have set like goals for yourself. Put out a smaller collection, sell it out, and then move on to the next one, so on and so forth. And you just keep working your way up. But I really believe you're going to have a very tough time moving such a big collection at that price point.
Okay, so I don't have anything left about this. I think we covered it all.
Yeah, I'm ready to move on to the next one.
Okay, great.
And there's nothing sold out of this one, so this is just perfect opportunity to make all those changes.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, in my collection, I have 20 at 0.25, and I feel like that was too many for that price. If I had,
But isn't that an older collection of, like the
it
times
is,
have,
yeah,
yeah, the times have changed. So I think that's important to be aware of just how much things are changing too. And I know you're right, Arwen, because all of our conversations, I know that you have that one collection that you really want to get moving. Yeah, I would struggle with such a large collection.
Okay, so the next one, Sarah, you can go ahead with it. It's a Sloika one. I'll just say the title, but I don't really know how to say it.
Me
Uh,
either.
it's by, oh, who is it by? This is the one, Kore Oz Palamutka. Mutku, I don't know how to say it. And it's Thesophile, the Thalassophile.
Sounds right. I'm not saying it. I refuse. It'll just be embarrassing. Okay, all right. I'm going to read this one. Okay, so home to me is what the breathtaking sea is to. Oh, there's that word. Thalassophile. Thalassophile? That home only belongs to you for eternity. The only place with the deepness of the grateful sea, the peace of the sunset at the beach, the warmth of the smashing waves. My mind is a sea of thoughts, here for setting free my consciousness through my
Oh,
storms.
I
Are
couldn't hear.
you the one whose breath follows the ocean and the blue heaven on earth? So I think that's it for the description, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, Sarah. I think we might have lost her. Hello? Can anyone hear me? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Did we lose Sarah?
I think we may have.
Okay. At first I thought it was me because no one was responding, so thank you. Um, okay, maybe let me just message her and ask if she can drop off and rejoin. And then I'll continue on.
Hi, I'm back.
Oh,
Hi.
hi.
Sorry.
I
I
was
don't
gonna
know.
just message you and ask if you could drop off and rejoin, but I guess you figured it out.
Oh, it's the stupid hotspot. It just like kicked me off. Okay. Don't
Okay,
do
well,
that
it's
again,
been
hotspot.
going
Okay.
okay until then. So,
Did you hear anything that I said? Oh no.
no, we basically stopped where you finished reading the description.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's all right. So we got through that part. And then I asked if you could scroll down so I want to see how many images are in here. Okay, so there's 9. Have any been sold yet? No, not
No.
yet. It doesn't look like it. Okay, so the description, just the same. I mean, this went through Slicka, didn't it?
Yeah.
I had a hard time reading it. Didn't really make sense in my mind as I was reading it, but that could just be me. How do you feel about the description?
I kind of agree. I think the first paragraph is really good. But then I got a little lost on the second line. I think maybe they're trying to be poetic,
Yeah.
which I sometimes have a hard time with understanding.
Yeah.
So I mean, to me, it seems okay, but maybe this could be reworded a little bit to get the point across better. The second line,
Yeah.
is I think what really kind of lost me.
I agree. But however, I don't think you can go back in with Slicka and change anything. Once it's done, it's done.
Okay. I mean, I think it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely fine.
Yeah. Um, so, but there is, where does Leica have the licensing information?
It'll be in each image.
Okay. And then, But we do usually recommend putting like that it's a one of one and all of that kind of stuff in the description.
I'm not sure. You're not on Sloika, right? Are you on the
Uh,
platform?
Not
I,
yet. I mean, I'm accepted, but I
yeah.
haven't.
Okay. I think like the way that as you fill you'll see you like fill out this form, and again, I'm pretty sure it's going to be in the image, all of that information. So if you click on it on an image, it doesn't. I don't think people like. You don't have to have that stuff in the main description of the collection. I think that's just people's preference if they want. I'm not sure if I've ever heard anyone say that it has to be, but I just know individually each image, yes, because when that person takes that image, they have all of that information with that image because they're not taking the whole collection with them. But
Okay.
this is how Sloika does it. Like you fill out a form and there's sections, so they lay it out all like this.
Okay.
Oh yeah, okay, they got the license in there. And it'll always be right with Sloika because they like you have no choice. You have to pick properties. You have to pick a license. You have to do descriptions.
So let me go back to the main page, and then you could just go ahead and
I
dive
like
into the images.
I love the images. I think they're actually all really great. Um the last one, I actually really like the last one. It's a good image. It doesn't it But it just doesn't seem to really fit though with the rest of like every image is like a landscape like you and I know it, and it looks really really cohesive, and then we have more like the abstract ones. So that one doesn't really fit for me in this collection, but they're all really great images. Like they're all really strong. And then it's like the bottom three, they don't really fit into the collection for me. Maybe they would have to be like, I don't know,
That's
in
exactly
different in different positions or something for it to, because the top six are all so cohesive except for the one with the chair. And then the bottom three, they just don't really fit for me.
I feel like even the one with the chair goes better than the bottom three.
Three,
And
yeah.
the left one on the bottom goes a little bit better. I feel like these two are outliers because the rest,
Yes.
like, the ocean with the sky. Um, yeah. And
Like the
this one could be, could go well or it could not, depending on where it was placed. Like maybe if it was placed, so it lined up in the middle with the chair one.
Oh,
Uh,
are these in they're some are long exposures, some are not long exposures. Okay, I see. I like the work though. I actually really like the last image. It's nice.
they even say the exposure time in there. Um, yeah, I guess with Sloika, you can't go back and change it. Like they couldn't
No,
remove these two.
no.
Okay.
As far as I know, no.
Okay.
I've never asked Sloika, but I'm pretty sure you can't. So
Okay.
it's Sloika and Foundation. OpenSea is the most forgivable one with going back and changing things.
Yeah, I think it's a nice collection and it goes together really well, except like we already mentioned, maybe not these last three.
I think
Um,
and I think it's priced okay for the size of the collection. I think I have a collection on Sloika. It's very same size, very similar price range. It's good. I like it. I don't have much to say about the work
yeah, I think
other than keep it up.
I'll just go in and look at a couple of them a little bit closer. Yeah, it's really beautiful the way the clouds are coming out from the sun. Um, yeah, I guess just what we had mentioned about the collection. I
I
feel like
think
I don't have as much feedback on this one.
no, but that's a good one. That's a good thing, isn't it? I think maybe just the description, I mean, you can't go back and change it, but moving forward for the next one, maybe a little bit more. I think descriptions have to be really well done because that's like the anchor that kind of will connect you to the collection. And I feel that, after so many collections we've done on the AMAs, it seems like the description is the least thought about. And I think it's important because it tells the story. It's the hook. It grabs the viewer in and lets them know what it's about. So I think more thoughtfulness on descriptions is definitely needed.
Right. And I think even with the description, you could make something that's a little less cohesive, like this, be more cohesive if you really describe in the description
Yes.
why you included each of these in it. And so, yeah, just, making your description more, and then for the next collection, just making sure everything's really cohesive, I think would really help you a lot. Would be the main takeaways from this.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'm ready for the next one. I really like that last image. It looks really good in the banner too. I'll keep
Well,
looking at it. That one, I love it. It's cool.
this one's my favorite.
Nice. I'm kind of,
Took a little while for them to go.
yeah, that's
Really
beautiful.
like
It's a beautiful light.
water, the motion of the water. This one, I think it's like the perfect exposure time. 0.4 seconds. Okay, so the next one is this one, and I guess I'm going to be reading it. So it's If the Water Disappears, We Will All Perish by, one second. I have so much hard time figuring out who it's by. I had it in Notepad, but now my Notepad is not opening. Darn it. What happened with that? Oh, there it is. One second. Sorry.
I have a hard time with the names too. That's only because with some of the names, like my mouth just doesn't move in the way that some
Wait,
people's names
maybe
do.
where to find them is my big problem.
Can you see your notepad?
Yeah, I can, but I just have the username. I just now noticed. So
I
let
see.
me
Okay.
go into the spreadsheet. One second. Sorry, this is taking me a little while. Um, where the spreadsheet is.
When I would control the spreadsheet, but I don't want to do anything on my hotspot that's
I
gonna
can still play it
kick
in
me
here.
out of here.
Okay, it's by Ekram Sahim. Um, the thing is, I think if I open the spreadsheet, it's in the same window. So it'll show up, and I don't know if I'm supposed to do that. Okay, so this is If the Water Disappears, We Will Perish by Ekram Sahim. And I'll go ahead and read the description. This is one reason it's nice to put the artist's name at the top, because it is kind of hard to figure out the name. If it's
Oh, wait, before
so,
we continue, I forgot about this. I like to say this at the very beginning. Connect your, if it's not already, connect your Twitter to your OpenSea because and then the name goes with that as well. And is it usually at the top of the, oh, okay, his is. Yeah, okay. I almost forgot that at the very, very beginning. That's so important to connect your, is it connected to his
but
Twitter?
no, he doesn't have his.
Oh, never mind. Sorry. I thought that was. Okay. Connect your Twitter to your OpenSea accounts, please. It's important.
And I think
Sorry.
also it's good to have your name at the top of the description, because I don't know if like Ekram is the first name or the last name. Whereas if you had the name up here, then everyone would know, who you are. Okay, so these photos in the collection are unique ones and impossible to take again. The changes on weather conditions, rain, snow, wind, temperature, drought, also change the landforms. The current image disappears. In these photos I took, I wanted to convey a visual message that nature is trying to give us with the landforms formed in the drying lakes and rivers. The content in the images make us feel that the world needs our help. Sometimes a tree figure and sometimes a flower seed lies deep within these cosmos images. It's almost as if we see the lifeblood of nature. These veins are so colorful that whatever is on earth under it, all life is colorful. As the world turns, the change of color fades. Lakes and rivers are dying. Nature is now screaming at humanity. We have to listen to the voice of nature. We will soon feel this sound not only in photographs but also in our cells. If the water disappears, we will all perish. Take care of your world. So I wanted to mention about this description. Definitely the grammar and the spelling seems okay, but the grammar was a little hard to follow. The punctuation is a bit off, and just the choice of words. And I think it's probably English is not his first language. But if you could have an English speaker check that. And then, Sarah, don't you usually recommend putting information about the artist and one-on-one and that kind of thing in the description?
I've never have, not the main description, just the descriptions of the image. We're not limited. Are we?
Okay.
I should know this because I've done collections on OpenSea. Are we limited in the overall description for like amount of words
No,
that we can have?
I don't think so, but I'm not sure either.
I feel like you are in the overall. I swear it's so, but not the individual descriptions. Okay, but I think it's more important to have all that information with each image because
Okay.
again, those images are the ones that go away to a new home. But lots of people do put that information up in the description. I've always seen the description of the overall collection as the chance to sell the collection. So kind of take out the noise of like I would probably put artist name, especially for people where the name, yeah, like this one, because we couldn't figure out who it was without going to look. But I don't think you need. I think it. I don't think licensing needs to be up there. But yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think the licensing. I usually put in the description, it's a collection of however many one-on-ones, for example.
hmm hmm
And I thought that that had been recommended in previous.
Well, maybe I need to step up my game. Then. I don't know. It might be me. I just know for sure in each image,
Okay.
100%.
Okay. So this is 13 items and the price is, oh, did you have anything else to say about the description
No,
before we're
this
done?
the exact same as you with the grammar.
Yeah, I just feel a little lost. Like I'm not exactly understanding what they're trying to convey in the collection. Um,
Yeah.
it's
And
to the
I,
point where
yeah,
I'm not even understanding it really.
I understand that many people in other parts of the world don't even have funds or like access to, I don't know, maybe properly check these things. Well, you do here with us at MetaJungle. Um, but I think it's if you're going to be selling your work and especially at the price points that a lot of people sell at, like even if it's a lower price, make sure you're putting your best stuff forward, and that also applies to writing. And I'm not very good at writing, but I actually have someone who is good at writing overlook what I say, so it makes sense. I think it's a matter of like putting in the effort to make sure that it's good. If you can, obviously, if you're able to access that or have the funds or have the ability. But people like us are when like there really is no excuse. If I hope that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. So this is 13 items and actually seven of them, it looks like, oh, six, maybe six of them have been sold. Let's see. One, two, three, four, five. Ooh, more than that. Six, seven, eight have nine have
I
been
know
sold.
they've done well. Great job. You're
There's
on
only
fire.
one, two, three, four, five left. But we'll go ahead and talk about the whole collection. Um,
Definitely all works
so
together. Oh, can
let's
we do?
the
Let's look
description.
at yeah
Yeah.
description.
So it looks like the description of the photo is Oh, it does have a description of the photo. Yeah, and then it's got all this information. So the only thing it's missing, oh, here is the artist's name. It's at the bottom. Ekram Sahed.
That's I was yeah, I know, like, just from so many AMAs, most people put all the information in the description of the image.
Okay.
You guys, can someone pipe in and tell me if you're limited to word count on the overall description of the collection? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure you are. I could be wrong. Okay, anyways, I'll stop talking
So
about that.
the only thing is when I was looking for the artist's name, it was kind of lost down in here. Because I did scroll through this looking for it. But I do see that it's there. Maybe put a carriage return before the bio so that the name stands out a little bit more is what I would recommend. But other than that, it looks like they have a ton of information in here.
Do they have properties? Can you go down a little bit? Yeah, there's no
All
properties.
the properties would
I
help.
definitely recommend properties. It's a yeah, properties are very good to add into with each image. It makes it like unique, it makes it stand out, and it's
In fact, some of this
very good.
stuff could probably be put
Yeah, property, yeah.
as properties instead of right here. It would be easier to read and it would make this a little less crowded and make things stand out more.
So as for the overall work, I actually really like the work, and this is more like nature photography to me rather than landscape, and like very abstract and intimate details, but obviously it is of landscape, but this is not traditional like landscape photography to me, but I like it. I think it's really cool. I love abstract work, and I think it really fits together, especially this collection, and you're doing well with selling it, so honestly, great job. I do see one that is not the same price as the other ones. Oh, there's a couple. Okay. Yeah, pricing is a little bit different. But it's not like this huge difference that is like, why? Why is that one so much more different than the other ones? It's all fairly close together. I think this one's my favorite one. Oh, Alpha owns it. Yeah, I like this one. It's well done composition.
That it's from a lake, but it looks like a tree.
Yeah, that's
And there's
cool.
a few of those in here, right? Like this is kind of like a forest of trees.
Yeah.
And there's another one, this one, the Tree of Life.
Yeah, that's
I
cool.
love the names, the names of each one. They go really well, and they're unique. So this is what I was saying, like about the forest one, is that this is another one that's abstract, yet they were able to, make names for each one that really goes well with it. Like, look at this, the veins of the soil. That name is just so good for this.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I agree. And it makes it special when they have individual names. Easier on smaller collections, definitely much harder on bigger collections.
I mean, to me, there are a few that stand out as maybe not going so well with the rest of the collection, but some of them are already sold. Like I think this one, Yarsley Lake Burdew. I don't know. Maybe it's the colors. Maybe I have a thing for colors
I
now. And
think
then this
it's
one,
I think
layers.
some of them are very messy. So like with abstract work, it's you still apply the same like principles of photography, like composition and rule of thirds. And for me, mess is a big thing. Actually, this one's pretty cool. It's like a marble painting. Mess is a big thing for me with photography. Always just trying to look at a scene and being like how to make it less messy. So there are a couple of images. This is just my own taste that are not as strong as the rest of the collection. Like it just looks like you say. It's the ones you've already pointed out. It's just messy to me. But they're good. Like the one on the right. I have a hard time with that one. It kind of looks like lips though.
This
If you
one?
go back up. Yeah.
layers of left. I kind of feel the same way about this one. If it were a tighter crop
Tighter
or
crop,
zoomed in
yeah.
more,
A
and
much tighter
it
crop.
might eliminate some of the distractions in it. But I mean, I do abstract, but I never publish them. But
Yeah.
for me, in an abstract, you want things to kind of be similar and you really want to find a pattern in it. So to
Yes.
me, the
It
fact
still
that it
needs.
goes from this to this other texture at the bottom, that's a little distracting to me.
Yeah, I feel like the same rules of composition and all that still apply to abstract images. And you can tell the ones where it's thought out and like that one. You know,
Yeah.
this was composed for this image. The other ones kind of just look like it was not a mess, but just taking a photo of just whatever. Yeah. Maybe there wasn't
This
as much
one
thought
is
put into
really
it.
well done as well with the
Yeah, that's
cross.
cool.
Um, okay, well, I think that's all I have about this. I think the price is good. Obviously, it's been selling. Um, did you have anything else?
No, I'm ready to move on to the next one. I forgot that there's the live chat. I'm scared to look at it.
Oh, I haven't been looking at it.
That's okay. I will do it. Yeah, I'm ready to move on to the next one.
Okay.
Emma's so cute.
I didn't even know there was a live chat.
I know, and I'm like, sometimes it's bumping in there, and it's like, sometimes it's not, though. It's not very active today. So we're good. I'm always like afraid to look at it, and it'll be like, how dare you say this about my images? That's what I'm afraid. Whenever you're critiquing things, it's a little scary.
Okay, so, I really should find the spreadsheet. Let me open it up again. 1 second. Because I even filtered it, so it only had the ones that we were going through. Okay, so the next one is Stranded in the Desert by, oh, it still doesn't have a name that I can see. Hitansh. Hitansh. So do you want to go ahead and start with this?
Oh, yep. Sorry, I was hanging out in the live chat. Coming back. See, if I go in the live chat, I'll get distracted. I can't go into it. Okay. All right. Stranded in the desert. I feel like I already am gonna like this one because I love sand dunes. Stranded in the desert. 8 one-of-ones of my best pieces from the Great Indian Desert, often known as the Thar Desert. Thar. Am I saying that right? Is that how you say it? Thar. It's easy to say, so that's good.
Close.
It's an easy word. I can't butcher that one. As the name implies, this collection has photographs that capture the breadth and brilliance of the desert. These pieces are a result of collaboration of minimal and landscape styles. This is my Genesis collection. Ooh, I actually like that they put in there, this is my Genesis collection, where it all began. My passion and the never-ending love for photography. A little about me. I'm Hedanash. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Hedanash. A 17-year-old, what, just a baby, a 17-year-old landscape photographer from India. I enjoy photographing landscapes and minimalistic images. I always believe in doing more with less things. Oh, that's a great attitude about photography, which is why I call myself a minimalist. My Genesis collection is a shot on phone collection, as I've always loved smartphone photography. Okay, I like this description. As you can see, it interested me and I had things to say about it. I'm super excited that this person is just a 17-year-old because I love that. I love when people get into photography at a young age. I definitely, like, you could definitely add a bit more about the collection into the description, and I think there is some grammar things to check here, but I think you did a good job with the description. And Arwen, in this description, there's a little bio about the artist, which is cool.
Yeah, I like that. And I like that they put that it's 8 one-on-ones of my best pieces. That's, something that's really good to know. And it starts to sell the collection right away, from the very start, like, saying these are my best.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
really so Hatanch did a good job with Hatanch. Did a Hatanch. I know. I think that's maybe how you say it. Did a good job with that.
We could probably make an entire video about us trying to pronounce names from other countries. It would be embarrassing. Oh, okay, what is this one priced at? They've already sold, which is
Right.
really good.
Are
Oh, and
all
it's another
those?
another phone
Some are
collection.
0.15. Actually, how many have sold? One, two, three. Three have sold, and those were some of the more expensive ones. Well, point 0.1 and 0.15. So he's got a few different prices.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're obviously doing well because you've sold the higher priced ones. And then, yeah, another phone collection. Oh, yeah, individual descriptions. Okay, we got description, artist name. Oh, we've got it all in there. Great job. Do we have properties? We don't have properties. So again, properties is something you could add in here. And properties is like you could put camera make, and then you could put the phone that you use. You could put settings, like just it's endless what you can put into properties.
Yeah, I really like this one because like it's so easy to identify the different stuff, like the artist's name and that it's a one-on-one, one of one, all of that kind of stuff is really easy to find and clear.
So I want to look, yeah, go back to the collection. I want to look at the overall work. Oh, I like the camel one. That's cool. So there is one image in here that's very striking to me. And then since you're such a baby, yeah, the middle one. Since you're such a baby photographer, I really encourage you to keep going with that creativity that you're showing in that middle image. Like that very minimalistic style. I love that. This looks really, really good. This is the strongest image, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. My eye is immediately drawn
Yeah,
to
because
that.
it's a little bit different. I mean, it's like I said right away with this collection, I was like, ooh, sand dunes. I love sand dunes. Sand dunes are very popular, so you can definitely do some unique things and stand out from the crowd with sand dunes. And I think that middle image does it. It's just clean. I like it. That one's not sold yet, is it?
No.
Interesting. Well, if I was going to buy from this collection, that would be the one I would get. It's cool. It's a good image.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the tones in these are interesting because, some of them are very reddish.
Yeah.
And then these two are more yellow and blue.
Yeah.
So I don't know if when I was editing them, maybe I would have made them a little more cohesive in that respect, just because it seems like the magenta was added in a lot of them.
Yeah.
So you could have added, any color.
Can you
Um,
click on the one with the camels? It's the top one. So this is again going back to I'm not saying it's an iPhone, but maybe it was an iPhone. But phone photography, again, you are limited if you are using like a more higher quality camera. So you have to be very, very, like I can tell that this sky is completely blown out. So just be very cautious of those things when you're shooting with your phone. Again, you can still go in and adjust settings. And when you're shooting into brightly lit skies like that, it's helpful to underexpose. And you can do this with a phone. And that will give you, maybe you edited this way, you wanted it to be very bright and airy, then of course that's your own personal preference. But if you blew this out and it's simply just a blown out sky, I just suggest getting it right in the camera because you have more options then. If you didn't want the sky to be blown out and it was like this, well, you can't really save it after this point. But if you get it right properly in camera, you just have more options with your editing.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. And especially in this one, like even the people are a little hard to see because there's so much glare and oops, I just do. Oops. Sorry.
Okay.
Um, darn it. Oh, shoot. Um, I shouldn't have done that.
It's the which one was? Oh, I see. So you
I
are
went
like
to
you
a
just
different
click. Can't you
email.
just go back? Like if you go back on the one
Oh,
tab.
because I think, like, when somehow I did this
Oh, so
and
just
I was on this. Okay.
right there. You're right there. Yeah.
So, oh, it showed all the different tabs. I see. So I was just saying that even the people are a little blown out
Yeah.
from the glare. And so, that's something to watch as well.
So yeah,
Uh,
like that image just kind of it looks like the background is just completely white and the sand dunes and the camels were like it's almost like they're cut out of the scene. Like the
the same
just
way.
yeah, like there's not even any comparison when if you go back again. I understand that style of editing though, like the one where it's blown out. So look at the two beside each other, the Lost Cloud and then Ship of the Desert. Like there's no comparison. The one is just such a strong image, and the other one, it's still good, but like I know as a photographer that sky is completely blown out.
Right. I mean, this one is really, this Ship of the Desert is really different than the rest of them because the contrast is so much.
Yeah.
So I don't, the blacks, like there's a lot of blacks in it, whereas the other ones don't really have that.
Yeah.
So, that's something maybe just to look for consistency.
Can
In
you
the
go? Oh,
style,
sorry.
especially in a single collection.
Can you click on that one actually? So this is one where I don't know if you feel the same way, but I feel like this. Okay, you know when you've blown out something and then you try to recover it and it's got that gray like look to it? I can see that in this image. Like they tried to bring the highlights back just a bit, but then it gets that very like pale, dull gray.
Yeah, and I don't know why the left side on this is kind of blurred. Maybe the sand was blowing, but it's
It could
kind of
be.
hard to tell. This is
Oh,
a
I
cool
see.
image.
It is yeah, it is cool. Oh, he's riding the camel. Okay, I can see now. I have to look at
From
this
above.
image bigger.
Yeah. Um,
Oh, I see now. That is a one long neck. Okay. Really great job though. Like honestly, keep going. This is awesome. I love the
yeah, I
middle
like
one.
the idea of the collection. And there's some really great images in it, but this is kind of cool with the line, although it leads out of the frame. Um, Maybe just a little bit more cohesiveness in the editing, I think, would really bring it really far,
Yes.
instead of having each one edited so very differently from the
Yeah.
other.
Yes. However, if you blew out all your skies, you are not going to be able to edit them. So you got to really get that right in camera.
Okay, should we move on?
Yeah, I like this collection though. And just so awesome that you're 17. 17 and selling NFTs, selling photography NFTs. How awesome.
I don't know why that got opened up, explore collections. Okay. Wandered lonely as a cloud. And this one is by Figan Kokol. So I will read the description of it. There are moments that you take shelter by the nature. It embraces you with its colors, sounds, or silence. Mountains, flowers, trees, rivers, animals surround you. You are healed when you are in a crowd. The nature inspires us. Oak tree, Oaks teach pride, lakes teach calmness. For example, mountains, every step takes you higher, which makes you feel more. It gives you sense of admiration and freedom, but a little bit of loneliness. Walking with the dazzling view is also a therapy. It brings joy and inspiration as well. With this collection, I want you to feel that beauty of nature. Every piece of this collection tells my respectful journey in with nature for years, all one of one edition. I borrowed the headline from English poet Williams Wadworth, who are developed a love of nature, a theme reflected in many of his poems. So like we've said in a lot of other ones, I think that the grammar here really is the thing that needs to be worked on. And I can tell that English is the second language, but if you could get an English speaker to take a look at it, or, I'm happy to help as well. Like for example, um, he says a nature a lot or the nature, and that's not, really how we say it. We would say beauty of nature. So things like that can kind of make us stumble when we're reading it and make it harder to understand what it's trying to say. Um, but I think it's saying, that this is drawn from nature and nature inspires us and teaches us. And that's a really nice description.
This could become someone's full-time job, fixing descriptions. I'm not kidding. I think there is a market here for it to help people with their descriptions. Charge a little bit of coin and start helping them. Totally. It's almost like I figure it's almost every single one that the description needs fixing with grammar and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
This is
But
the
I
first.
do like what he's trying to convey in the description.
Yeah.
It
I like
the
how this one says, I borrowed the headline from English poet. I like that bit. I like that you are honest, actually, about that. You use that. That's good job.
Yeah, it's nice. Okay, so we'll look at the description of the photo, and then go back to looking at the whole collection and the price and everything. So he has a description, I think, that's specific to the photo. Let me look at one more to make sure. Yeah, definitely. So that's good. Um,
Does it have the licensing and all of that fun stuff?
101 edition.
Yes, it's down
So
at the
this
bottom.
is the description of the collection and then the licensing information. But he doesn't have the art. Oh, yeah, he does have the artist's name. No properties, which would be nice to have, especially since there's a little less information like that in the description here. Um, is there anything else, Sarah?
No, yeah, just same with the properties. It almost seems like it's constantly changing with the collections. It's like, oh, now we need to have license. Now we need to have properties. There's
I
always
know.
something more and more to add.
I know. And some of these that I chose were submitted earlier. So
Oh,
they,
yeah, because
might have
yeah,
submitted them before, we really knew all these things.
yeah, properties wasn't really a thing until, I mean, that's the most recent to me, I think.
Right. So they have 8 items, which is a really good size for the collection. And it looks like they're all priced at 0.1, which I
Good
think
job.
is a good price for a collection of 8 items. And
Okay.
they sold two of
Two.
them. So they're making progress on them. Um, I think the collection is very nice. It goes well together. It's just supposed to be about nature. So I guess some of these with houses kind of don't convey that feeling as much to me, that it's about nature. But that's just me personally. Like when I see
Hmm.
the hand of man, in something, it kind of doesn't seem as much, as nature. Um,
Yes.
if that makes sense.
Yes, I agree. However, the one with the little hut is my favorite one.
It
The
is a
middle one.
one. I'm just
Yeah.
wondering if
Yeah.
it, maybe, I mean, he's got another one with a hut. So, I mean, what
Yeah.
would be cool is a collection of mountain huts,
Oh my
or
gosh.
in
Yeah, that
different
would be.
locations or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, to me, this one kind of sticks out as being different,
I love that one.
holding on to
That's cool.
autumn. Um, I love the name of it. And yeah, it is a beautiful photo. I guess I'm just not really feeling a tight sense of cohesion in this collection. I feel like they're all edited in a similar style, which is really nice. But
Yes.
I'm not really feeling how they really relate to each other.
Yeah. I agree. The editing is, you can tell that this photographer is going down this editing path. Like I've seen this style of editing before, so I definitely encourage you to keep going. But I agree with Arwen. It's not, yeah. The houses kind of stick out. If it's about nature, the houses stick out a bit, and the work doesn't really all flow together. But it's good work, and I love the one with the swan.
Yeah, I feel like on their own, each of these is, beautiful, although maybe this one is a little less strong. I'm not really finding a subject in it. My eye keeps getting drawn to this dark branch and the light behind it. But that could just be my preference. I mean, other than that one, I feel like all of the photos in themselves are very strong. I just don't see them going together that cohesively as a collection. It's like more like he took, a bunch of his best photos and put them in a collection.
Yeah, I agree with that. But great work. Like I really like the work. I think it's priced right.
And I mean, I have seen collections like this that do well. But I do think the ones that do the best are really cohesive in, the theme.
Yes, and strong work, strong pieces of work.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, each one of these is, stands out in its own right. So it's very, very strong work. Okay. So we'll
I'm
move on.
Yep, I'm ready for the next one.
Okay. So the next one is The Greatness of Nature. And that is by one second.
Cosmin Stan. It's in the description.
Osmond.
Cosmin Stan.
Okay.
Oh, I guess
Do you
it's
want
my
to go
turn to
ahead
read
with
this one.
one? Yeah.
Yes, I will. The Greatness of Nature is a collection of 10 one-of-one NFTs by photographer Cosmin Stan. You look around and the greatness of nature overwhelms you. Breathe the green of the firs and their vigor is transmitted to you. Nature, what could be more beautiful than that? This collection contains images made in the mountainous areas of Romania. The photos were taken in the last 9 years in the following mountain groups. Oh, these are daunting names to say. Apuseni Mountains.
Probably skip reading the names.
Yes, I'm sorry, guys. I can't do it. Through these images, I want to show how wonderful and grandiose nature is by presenting it in an artistic way. We as human beings must take care of it and protect it as much as possible. These images for me mean purity, love for nature, for the environment. Man's footprint on nature and the environment is growing. Photos say more than words, and nature is a more talented artist than man. I agree with that. I invite you to discover the greatness of nature. Actually, I really like this description, but there's definitely some grammar issues in it. So again, that's the same as all the other ones, just double checking those things. And Arwen, the photographer's name is in there this time. Could definitely make it look nicer by breaking up those sections, like have a little paragraph where it's your name and that it's 10 one-of-one NFTs, and then have the description of the collection just on its own in this description.
Yeah, I agree. I think maybe just putting a carriage return between the first line and the rest of it would really help a lot.
Yes, I agree with that. Okay, now this is getting really like picky with things. With titles, I don't know how you feel, Arwen. So with titles, like The Greatness of Nature, don't you feel like greatness in nature is to be capitalized?
Yes, I do.
Yes. It always, I know, and I like every time I see that with titles, it really throws me off that it's a title because it's not correct. So titles are capitalized. And that's another thing that you will, like, I mean, you don't have to do it, but I definitely recommend it. It just makes it look title, like this is the title of it.
Yeah, and it makes it stand out a little more. I mean, like the of wouldn't be capitalized, and so the
Yeah.
thing you really want to stand out is greatness,
Greatness and nature.
and that
Yes.
really would do that as well.
It makes it look more like a professional title.
Right.
I don't know if it was you with the last one, but there, you know how sometimes people never capitalize anything? Was that you that I did the last AMA? Anyways, if you're going to go the route of never capitalizing your titles or your sentences, that's like branding on its own. You have to really stick with that if you're going to go that route.
Yeah, I guess some of the other ones didn't capitalize them as well, and we didn't mention that.
Yeah. I notice it all the time though, and
It
I
really
always
stood out
go
to
to
me
mean to mention it, but
for some reason, even more than the others. But
yeah. Because
okay, so,
that doesn't look like a title, it looks like a sentence.
right.
Yeah. Anyways, little English tip, I guess.
So now we could look at the description of the. Do you want to go ahead with that?
Yep. Valleys and mountains. So we don't really have a. Oh, yeah, there's the story. Okay. So, yep. All looking good so far. Oh, we got the license. Nice. We don't have properties. Oh my gosh, a bio. I put a bio in mine too. And I put in mine, like mine are actually pretty lengthy and wordy. I put how I create the images as well, like the technical side of it. I like the description. I think it has everything. Good job.
Okay, great. So
Just
now we'll go back. I don't have anything to add, so we'll go back to the images. I guess you want to look at the price and everything.
yeah, price. So what is this? Why is it purple? Do you see like with the price?
Is it not usually that way?
Isn't it? I always thought it
Oh
was black.
no.
Is this see? It's purple. So that's is that wrapped Ethereum? Is that what it's called? Like is that what it's sold in?
Can you tell by clicking on it?
I don't know.
If
I'm just curious. I was just curious why it's purple.
I don't know the answer to that.
Goon, do you know the answer to that? I know you're listening. Emma, do you guys know?
I think that
Oh, it's
means
a
it's
Oh,
yeah,
polygon.
polygon.
Okay, polygon. Okay, thank you. I knew it was different. All right. Interesting. Okay, cool. I actually really like the images. I love that one that we were just looking at. That's
The
nice.
layers.
The black and white one.
Oh, yeah.
It's just strong image. But we'll get to like it. Does it fit in the collection? That is another ball game. But I actually really like these images. I can see that this is a talented photographer.
I love these two. Stop for a moment in mystical lands. But do you want to go ahead and speak about the collection as a whole?
Yeah. So I think the work is really beautiful. That's clear. However, the little maybe the black and white doesn't really fit, so it doesn't look like you can. I feel you can have a black and white collection. You can have a color collection. I'm sure it works mixed, but maybe something to think about. You could definitely separate into two different ones. I think yeah. As a whole, I do like this collection. Some of the pieces are a little bit different though, but it is all about nature. So there's no houses, there's no people, there's no nothing.
I kind of feel the same way about it as about the last one, is that it's
Yeah,
just
very similar.
that cohesive.
The one on the, can you wait, stop right there. The black and white on the left, go down. Down. The black and white one. Oh, that one's a cool one. Not that one, it was the one above it. That one. Yeah.
Hello. Oh.
Hi, sorry. I was gathering my thoughts of what I wanted to say. I don't feel that this image is strong, and I don't feel it fits in this collection. Compared to the rest of the work, like the rest of the work is just beautiful and top notch, and That one looks like, for me, it's a I call them, I haven't said it this whole AMA session, a tourist snapshot. Like just of like, oh, there's the mountains. Let's take a picture of the mountains over there in the distance. It could be the middle chunk of all the trees. And I live in like a area that looks so similar. It's just too much.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's nice to have the layers like this, but this is too big. It's a little distracting.
Yeah. Yes. I love the one with the fog. And then maybe oh, the one with the orange leaves is beautiful. So it's a great work, but I feel you likely have a lot more work as well, and you could really start putting collections together with these pieces, but like separate collections. So you could do one with layers and fog and trees, and then do one that is actually mountains. And yeah, what do you think, Arwen?
No, I totally agree. I mean, I love the work, especially the ones I mentioned, like Late Autumn, Mystical Lands, and Stop for a Moment are the wow ones for me. And actually, the natural frame is so cool. And this is very nice too, avalanche of clouds. But I just feel like they're not cohesive. It's the same as the last collection that we discussed, is that, on their own, most of these are amazing images like this. Oh my goodness. But
Yeah, it's beautiful.
together, they're just not really conveying to me what the collection is about. And I know that, it's nature,
Yeah.
but there's more specific things within nature. And so I really think to put it and sell it as a collection, it really helps to have like one cohesive topic that everything adheres to. And in here, like I would say the ice one really doesn't go, because it's not the same topic as the other ones. I would think like Mystical Lands and Stop for a Moment, and these two with the layers, and even Avalanche of Clouds could go really well into like a mountain theme sort of collection, but then the other ones kind of are outliers from that.
Yeah, I agree. And the one abstract one at the bottom. I understand the theme nature. I get that. And I think all of us came into the NFT space like I would do something like this as well. Just to, I'm a photographer. I'm just going to take my nature photos, my landscape photos and put them into a collection. But I think the NFT space and how we sell this way has really shown us how to curate it so the whole collection is uniform. So I think that's actually something all of us have had to learn. In my case, definitely. Like when I first started, I didn't think to go off and make just a mountain collection or a lake collection. So this is the place where it's really getting your mind working in that way.
Right. And I think that, you know, curation really is a thing. And like, even traditionally, artists curate their galleries and, might put similar themed photographs together. And so it's sort of the same kind of thing, like just curating your portfolio into collections that are more cohesive than just, oh, here's a bunch of my best work.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that. It's beautiful images, though. I love
Yeah,
them, especially that tree one with the orange. It's beautiful.
I did something. I keep clicking around. Okay. Well, I think then we're done with this one.
Yes.
Okay. So then I think we only have one more. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just to make sure I didn't close any. 1, 2, 3. I think I missed one. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we'll do this one and then I have to find which one I missed because I think I closed a tab.
Okay. You had a tab that you did close, but it was
Right.
just like the main OpenSea page.
I know. I think maybe I clicked on something and went away from the collection. So I just need to figure out which collection when we're done with this one. It'll only take a minute.
This is
Uh,
my friend. I don't know how to say his name, but he's my friend.
okay, well,
Yeah.
I think I'm supposed to read this one.
Okay.
So this is Lost in White, and I'm going to say it's Jose. Casal, but I don't know for sure. But in my head, I pronounce it as Jose.
Same.
Um, I'm very proud to have a signature style with my daylight minimalism waterscape long exposures. This is the way I have chosen to express my art, and of course, I feel very comfortable doing it. But sometimes, even when you least expect it, magic appears outside your comfort zone. Last February, I planned a snowshoe excursion with my family. I hired a mountain guide, and my children were super excited. The chosen day dawned with a heavy snowfall when we arrived at our meeting points, a spot at 2,000 meters on the French side of the Pyrenees. A dense fog covered everything. We started our route walking on a meter of virgin snow with hardly any vision due to the fog. It was like entering a huge white hole. After about 20 minutes, the fog began to open up as we entered a small forest. A few isolated trees appeared out of the mist, and what was going to be a family walk turned into a crazy minimalist landscape session. Without planning, without time to check each shot, just drawing on my experience and photography skills, and with an eye on the guide and my children trying not to get lost in white. I love the description.
Yeah. Like, there's going to be nothing to say about this one other than it's awesome. I'm just saying. I already know it's going to be really like, this is a good example of everything we talked about in this session of like a curated, cohesive collection, like body of work, great description.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
description, I mean, it really draws you in. And then I love the way it ends in the title, explaining why that's the title is just
yeah.
so good.
Where does he live? I should know these, but I don't know. I'm just wondering
Or
if he's
Spain?
Oh, he lives in Spain. Okay. I'm just going to ask him after. But like,
I don't know if it's France or Spain, but it
oh,
must be
okay.
somewhere around there.
Even if English is not his first language, like he's done a really good job at um like it's just proper.
I wonder if his Twitter says. Girona. I don't know where that is.
He's a great photographer. Like
Maybe he's
he's
Italian. Okay. So that is the description. It's wonderful. Now we'll look at the description of a photo. And of course, since this is on Slika, it's in a standard way. Is that right?
yep, everything will be correct, everything will be there. Flicka make sure of that. And he's been on Slika, I know he's been on Slika for a while, so
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, it's all there. Very good. I might actually, for my next OpenSea, copy the the Slika format and just put
Yeah,
it
that's what
into
I
it.
do.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't put anything on OpenSea in a long time, so but yeah, it looks really nice. And so the price is um point 0.2, and it looks like all of them are point 0.2 and none have been sold yet. And I think that's a good price for the number of images. How many images are there? 10. So that's
Oh yeah,
nice.
no, he sold one. Um like I this is not and this definitely isn't his first collection. I know he
Oh
has
yeah,
other
one
ones.
is
He's
full.
yeah.
So there's 11. Okay. It's not like OpenSea that it puts the sold ones at the bottom.
No, it
I
just
was
said
thinking
yeah,
at
they
the
just
top.
kind of disappear.
Right. They're
I
just
mean, yeah. This is a great example of how it's like everything fits in this collection.
right. This is super cohesive. I mean, for me, maybe the one that is the least cohesive is this one, In the Morning Light. But it kind of is tied in by the fact that he has other two that have the people in it, and also how he talked in the description about his family being along with him.
Yeah.
So that, helps to lend some cohesion even to those ones that might be considered an outlier. And it does give it a nice touch to have those spots of color in a few of them, I think.
Yeah, same. I think he actually does that in many of his images. Even his other like long exposure work, there's people in them. I love his work. I'm a big fan, and I think he does a really great job at, like, he has a very distinct style. Oh,
Yeah,
and they all have individual names too, which is good.
I love this one with the tree kind of half covered by the snow. Um, wow. Yeah, this is a really well done collection. Um, and even the order he put it in, like the ones with the people are kind of perfectly placed to, draw your eye around the collection.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
He
really have anything else
no,
to say.
I knew there wouldn't be much to say on his, but I think this one's a really great example of like how to follow and how to curate and how to make it look all very cohesive and just great description, great storytelling. Great job. All around great job.
Okay, so let me see if I missed one. Did that one we did last March. We did Water and Life. Oh, this one, Aurora Twilight. This is the one I missed. Okay, let me. Oh. So we have one more to do. Do you want to go ahead and read that?
Didn't Arwen, didn't we do this one? I swear I've done this one before. Maybe not. Maybe I'm positive I've
One of
done this
them
one.
said that they had resubmitted it because they wanted more feedback. Let me see if that was
It must be this one. I've looked at this image I think 3 times. I know this collection.
Let me.
We can definitely do
I
it.
also noticed that I think some of the selection X's were missing on some of them.
But like someone like Mike or anybody, I don't know, whoever else did an AMA, I did this. I swear I did this shot, the same shot. I did this with Dan, and I did this one with you. I'm pretty sure. Okay. Anyways,
Yeah,
we can do it.
If it's the one that said it was resubmitted, I don't think it is actually. No, it's not. I guess it's just that it wasn't marked as being selected. Yeah.
I can't remember if this one changed it. Like I don't know what I was reviewing before. I just remembered the images, so I don't know if there's been changes made. Yeah, I've done this collection before.
I feel like I wasn't there when this one was done.
It was me and Dan. I remember that image. We could definitely do it though.
Okay. It's for me, the fact that it was called Aurora, like I was a little surprised at the content of it. And so I think I would have remembered that.
Yeah, what's happening here? Why is this person here? We need to talk. Aurora Twilight. That's not what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing more like sun and golden hour. That's for sure. I just remember doing this one and encouraging because I love the main image, like with the sun and the.
Yeah.
It's a great job, and I remember talking about this and encouraging to keep carrying on with that path. And if you can go, oh yeah, right, I was supposed to read the description, wasn't I? Oh man, I'm gonna be fired from this. Okay. Aurora Twilight is a collection of one-of-one images of sunset, sunrise captured across Konkan region of India. A colorful sunrise or sunset is one of the nature's greatest show, when the light can be special and even the most mundane subject looks magnificent. The light during sunrise and sunset looks very familiar, with the low sun casting long shadows and revealing form and textures in the landscape and warm colors. This collection shows difference in the light and color. Okay. Definitely for the description, of course, the usual just grammar and brushing up on that. The description didn't really make sense to me. I can't remember reading this description before, but both Arwen and I are very confused why it's titled Aurora Twilight and why that has anything to really even do with this collection at all. It's clear, like sunrise or sunset and golden hour. This is not Aurora. So it's just very misleading and we don't understand why. But then carries on in the description to talk about like the light at sunrise and sunset. So I guess that's a good point.
Yeah,
How
I
do you
would probably
feel?
change the name of the description because it's not about Aurora or Twilight.
Unless that's your name. Is your name Aurora? No, I doubt it. But yeah, this is not anything to do with Aurora.
Or even Twilight, because at Twilight the
Twilight.
sun wouldn't.
Yeah. No.
Maybe this one's Twilight, the fisherman's sunset.
Yeah. I'm wondering if that's like just the whole Aurora Twilight is like just what their brand is called, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Okay, well, if we've done this one before, we can just go quickly through it. So, and now it's marked as selected, so it shouldn't be selected again.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, that's good. Do we have everything in, like the image, just like the license, artist? Yeah, okay. That's all there. Good. No properties. I'm wondering how old this collection is, and if they made any changes from. I just can't remember what we said about it last time. But if it's been resubmitted or something.
Well, yeah, it's pretty old. It was.
Yeah. So yeah, no changes were made.
Okay.
Because we would have addressed the description and all of that stuff. And I'm positive, like, I remember doing this with Dan. So then I'm just very confused about this photographer in general. I'm positive me and Dan did this, and it wasn't called that, because we would have caught the Aurora Twilight as well. Okay, anyways, doesn't matter. This is a mystery collection to me. Unless it's a new one, a new collection, but using the same overall image as
when it was submitted. Maybe that'll clear things a little for you.
Well, I just want to say if like you're submitting this again, but without the changes made from the last time that we did it, then
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, then it's all the description needs to be cleaned up a little bit. And I remember going through these images, and I still have the same thought. Like I love the first one. Obviously, that's the strongest image because it's creative. It looks like there was some thought put into it. But a lot of them moving forward for me, I mean, I use this term again. I use it a lot. Is tourist snapshot. So this is like maybe what, if me and my mom walked up to a scene, my mom would photograph it one way because she's the tourist, and then as a photographer, I dive in with my composition and all of that stuff, and I would try to create something out of it. So the bottom one, if you see the one with the boats
on the left,
yeah. Actually, I remember talking about this image too. Oh my god, I swear it was with you, Arwen. But the bottom one on the left, I remember.
Maybe it wasn't. It was just named something different.
Maybe the Rowing Sunset. I remember talking about that image and being like, it would look so like it would fit so well if it was moved over, like the boat was right underneath the sun. Yeah, I remember doing this collection.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember you saying that, but now I'm gonna have to listen to the other session and see because I'm like.
This was a long time ago too. This was a long time.
But I agree. I think the collection is very cohesive, which is a positive for it. Except maybe this one is a little different than the other ones. But I agree about needing to work on the composition and not just have snapshots of like anyone who's traveling around might take.
Well, if you go back up to the top and you compare the two, like there's just not even a comparison. And so the first one and then the second one. And then anything that you put in your collection that is weaker, it will really, in my eyes, it will devalue the entire collection as a whole. So I think it's just so important to be putting forward your best work. No matter if it's an edition, if it's a collection, if it's standalone, one of one, I believe we really need to be polishing up the work that we are putting forward.
Yeah, so one of the things that really might help him is, to really clearly identify like what your subject is. Like in this, it's kind of hard to tell. Um, and that will probably make the photos be stronger overall, um, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree. And it'll just help you like with creativity as well. Like the first one, it's clear that the theme here is sunset or sunrise or golden hour, and the first image is like, there's some thought put into it, and you can tell it stands out from all of the rest, and then it just they're all almost too similar too. Does that make sense? Like same, the horizon line is very similar in mostly all of them. Yeah. Anyways, that's all I have to say about this collection because
Okay.
I've already done this one before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, I do think people can resubmit, right, if they make changes. So, that is something to consider. But with
Yeah.
this one, yeah, it was submitted back in March, so it's definitely not a resubmission.
I don't remember that name though, but yeah, I would have saw that right away too. Aurora. You gotta
Okay.
come to Canada for the Aurora. We will show you lots
I
of
think
Aurora.
there's let me just go through and just make sure. Stranded in the desert. Did we do that one? Yeah, we did. Wandered lonely, lost in white. Yep. So we got them all.
Good job. My hotspot only failed me once.
Yeah, that was good.
I did it.
Yay, you
It
did
worked
it.
well. I did it on hotspot. I think if I had to control things, that would have been a whole other story. Would have not been good.
So, did my
Good job,
screen
guys.
sharing stop?
Well, thank you guys. You guys did
Thanks.
great.
Thanks, everyone. I'll be back again tonight talking Twitter Spaces. Come and listen every
Oh yeah, what
Friday.
time is that?
Your time? I don't know where you live, but I think it's 6 for Emma. So if you guys
Oh,
live in the same place, then it's 6.
no,
It'll
I'm
be
on
4.
Pacific.
He's in Pacific. So, what time
Oh,
is
so
your
that's my time. I'm Pacific time right now. So it's 4. 4 for
Okay,
us.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it's 4. So I can usually only join for like an hour and then I have to go get
Are
my
you
kid for the
are you
night.
gonna come, Arwen, tonight to the space?
I'm gonna try. My daughter has her first dance tonight, so I am gonna be helping her get ready for that. So I have to see what happens.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll see you later. Maybe not. But see everybody else later.
All right.
Lots of chatting.
Bye, everyone.
Okay. Thanks. Bye.
Okay, thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.